Hey, what's up guys? Alex here with a new video, and the title's real. I sold most of my gear. Now that I have your attention, why did I do that? What happened? I actually wasn't sure I wanted to make this video until I talked to a lot of you guys on Instagram. And when I realized I wasn't the only one going through this, I decided to, you know what, let's be a little vulnerable on YouTube, and let's talk about how the pandemic has impacted my photography business. I will say this video is not a pity party. My photography business has been my part-time business and supplemental income to my full-time job. My wife and I started this business 6 years ago, and we've been averaging 20 to 25 weddings for the last 5 years. We never wanted to push past 25 weddings because my wife also has a full-time job, and photography is truly our passion. As cheesy as it sounds, as much as I hate saying that, it sounds so cheesy, we truly love doing it. And we found that 25 weddings is kind of the sweet spot where we can still have free weekends to like travel and do things that we like doing, but also have our side business and just enjoy doing photography. Obviously, COVID has changed things drastically. Before COVID, we only focused on couple photography, which meant weddings and maternity sessions. Now, sometimes our wedding couples had families, which would lead to family sessions, but we didn't really advertise or really push towards becoming family photographers. With COVID, things have changed drastically. This year so far, get ready for this drum roll, we have 3 weddings booked starting in October of this year, which is totally cool because right now with COVID, I definitely don't want to be in a dance floor with hundreds of people. And yeah, I can't even start to think how it's going to feel when things kind of go back to normal. With that said, I'm not really stressed about it, but things have changed from a business perspective. The last 8 months, we've really shifted and started to do a lot more family photography. Now, when you look at family photography, do you need 2 bodies? Maybe. Do you need like 5 or 7 lenses? Not really. So I started to think, okay, if we're not doing as many weddings for the next 12 to 15 months, we're only focusing on family photography, and knowing myself, who is a tech nerd and a gear nerd who always needs the latest and greatest, why hang on to this gear which will lose value, or some of it will, when I can sell it now for kind of top dollar, pay off all my credit card debt, and kind of be ready for the latest, newest gear, like the Canon EOS R3, or like the rumored Canon 35 f1.2. So I decided to sell most of my gear. Now, I will eventually buy some of this gear back. Once weddings go back to normal next year, whenever that is, eventually I'll go back to having 2 camera bodies. I'll go back to having lenses that have overlap. But for now, it's just really not needed. So what did I keep? What made the cut? A lot of you already know the answer to one of these, but let's kind of get started from the top. So I'm currently filming with a Canon EOS R5. Attached to the R5 is the EF 40mm f2.8 pancake lens. That's a weird lens to keep, right? But actually, let's start there. I also have the Canon EOS 3 film camera. I really enjoy using this film camera for just personal stuff, and obviously, it being a film camera, an older camera, it takes EF lenses, and the 40 f2.8 pancake lens is an amazing walk-around lens, and it focuses great with this older camera. To supplement this camera, I also decided to keep the EF 50mm f1.8. I sold the RF 1.8 because the RF doesn't work with my film camera. And if I ever need to use this cheap lens, I can always adapt it to the R5. As far as my RF lenses, you guys already know what I kept. I kept my Ride or Die, my Desert Island lens, the lens that I could do anything with, the RF 50mm f1.2. And fun fact, this actually is the lens I've owned the longest in my entire career. I usually go through a lot of gear. This just kind of holds a special place in my heart. I love the rendering. I love everything about this lens. So, kept this one. And actually, I'll try to put some pictures up. For the last 3 years, I had a ton of gear, a ton of lenses, and I want to say maybe 80% of my images were shot with this lens. So it goes to show you how much I truly enjoy the RF 51.2. I also kept the RF 35 1.8. Now I kept this lens because it's small and it's a great performer for its size. And with the R5 and this lens, it's a really good kind of walk around camera. You can take it on trips, you can take it anywhere. It's lightweight and you get amazing results. I don't plan on selling this lens until the RF 1.2 comes out. Until then, this lens is staying in the bag for the foreseeable future. It gives me my wider look, even though I'm not necessarily using it as much. But I do use this lens a lot for YouTube videos and talking head videos like this one. So it earned a spot in my kit. For my last lens, this is a playful one. I picked up this used old Leica R 50mm f2 Summicron at my camera store a few months ago. It was only like $300, and it just has such a smooth focus ring, and the rendering of it is just really unique. It's sharp. It's a really cool lens. So I kept this lens along with the Leica R to RF adapter I picked up on Amazon, and this is just for kind of fun, right? My 50mm walk around lens for me to just shoot whatever the hell I want and get kind of cool results. So that stayed in the bag, which is kind of funny because now that I say it out loud, it actually sounds kind of interesting. I have 3 50s. It kind of goes to show you what my favorite focal length is. So that's why I sold most of my gear. This is what I kept. I think for the future, again, as things pick up, I'm pretty sure I'm going to pick up a Canon EOS R3. I'm not sure if that's going to complement the R5 or if I'll sell the R5 and have the R3 and R6. I don't know yet. I have to see what the specs are. I just know I'm pretty sure I'm going to pick up that camera. I always like having kind of Canon's flagship camera as my main body. As far as lenses, we'll see what happens. I know that once the RF 35 1.2 is announced, I'll pick that up. And then I might just pick up a 28 to 70 and have that be my kit. We can talk about that more later. I'm not really into long focal lengths. I won't use them at all. And obviously with shooting with my wife, having 2 shooters, we need 2 camera bodies. But I think with the RF 50, the RF 35, and maybe the RF 28 to 70, that's all we might need for 2 cameras in a wedding kit. We'll see. I definitely do like having a lighter kit and just a smaller amount of gear because it just makes it so much easier to pick what I'm going to use. What are your thoughts? Kind of crazy, right? I'm still going to be making tons of YouTube videos, of course. I'm still going to show tons of content, but I wanted to put it out there, kind of what's going on, what I'm experiencing, and what I decided to do instead of just keeping all this gear in my shelf. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know how the pandemic has impacted your business. Would love to have an open discussion. If you want, hit me up on Instagram. It's a lot easier. Or drop a comment down below and we can have a conversation. But as always, please like the video, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one, guys. Peace.